All right, you guys, we're going to start. Thank you so much for joining today. So really, this is just a session for you guys to ask any questions that you have about, excuse me, about Brand Partnership School, and I'll answer anything we have the first session of Brand Partnership School starts on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And that is when we close the opportunity for live coaching. Also, I'm doing a fun giveaway tonight. So anyone who enrolls in Brand Partnership School by midnight Pacific time tonight gets entered to win an Aura Ring Gen 4. And I know some of you guys who are here already enrolled, so you're automatically entered into the giveaway. So now I'm just going to turn it over to you guys. We're a small enough group where you can just raise your hand virtually or literally if you have a question. I see Julie's question. She wants to confirm the first session is this Wednesday, correct? So the first session of Brand Partnership School is at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. It'll be live and you can ask any questions you want. There's a document in there if you have any questions you want to submit ahead of time. So now I'm going to open it up to you guys. Stephen, Barbara, Chantal, Julie, if anyone has a question, just go ahead.
Is this, Amy, I'm sorry, is this, I enrolled in one of them. Is this the same one or is this a different one?
This is the one you are enrolled in. So
Perfect.
yeah,
Thank you.
and I'm very excited to have you.
Thank you so much.
Of course. So yeah, we start on Wednesday. And for anyone who's here, yeah. Chantal? Oh,
Hi.
hi.
Um, Good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
That's good. For me, this is new. I only learned about this through my internship, and I was just wanting to learn more. That's all.
Yeah, so Brand Partnership School, I can kind of walk you through what's included, and then if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask them. So Brand Partnership School is a brand new course. It's 3 hours of course materials that teaches you how to land your first paid brand partnership in the next 30 days. And I basically spent the last year like getting that amount of content down to just like this is the 3 hours of content you need to know. So I'm going to be live teaching that the first 3 Wednesdays of April. You can come attend live and ask your questions. If you can't attend live, that's totally okay. And then when you enroll right now, you get access to a live strategy session. That's the fourth Wednesday of April at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And again, if you can't attend live, you can submit questions for that. This is the only opportunity for live coaching with Brand Partnership School. We don't normally offer it with this. And so I'm giving you all the tools that you need to land your first brand partnership, including a pricing guide, ideas for deliverables, templates to send out to brands. So I'll stop there and let you ask any questions you have.
Okay, and then you made mention of a school. So is there a fee that one would have to pay to get
Yeah.
involved?
Yeah, so the price is $197 a month for 6 months, or you can pay in full for $1097 and you save a bit. And Lisa, if you can put the link to join in the chat just in case people can't see that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Sarah. Hi, RJ. Welcome, guys. So if you have any questions, just raise your hand. I'm happy to answer any of them. Barbara, did you have a question? Barbara B. Oh, no, you're
No, you actually had answered them in your email to me. I thought you were doing an overview for some reason and not just a Q&A right now. So and sorry.
no worries. I'm just glad you're here. So I can just start talking and I'll answer questions that I've been getting a lot of. So one question that we have gotten a lot of is, do we normally include coaching in Brand Partnership School? We do not normally. So after Wednesday, it goes back to the normal Brand Partnership School where it's just a course, you don't get any support. Right now, we're offering when you enroll by end of day Wednesday, you get the live coaching with the the 3 live classes. And then the live strategy call in April. And then I announced at the beginning, but I think some of you guys weren't in here. We're just doing a fun contest today for anyone who enrolls by 11:59 p.m. Pacific time tonight. You're going to be entered into a giveaway to win an Aura Ring. I know some of you guys have already enrolled and you'll be entered automatically. Yeah, Barbara.
Could you just review quickly the modules again?
Yeah, so there's 3 modules. The first one is on connecting with brands, and I just finished making those slides. So we're going to go through the ins and outs of what not to do and what to do, because if you don't connect correctly, you're literally killing your chances of working with a brand. We're going to go through what to say, including your subject line, which is really the most important part, how to introduce yourself, what action steps to take. Then how to find the contacts for the brands. That's a really big one. And then how to reach out to the brand. Should you email them? Should you DM them? When you should follow up. So all the ins and outs of getting that first connection with the brand. The second module is pricing, which is equally important because if you go into a brand partnership negotiation and you're like, it's $100 and you could have gotten $5,000, that's a lot of money you're leaving on the table. So I'll walk you through pricing for the most common deliverables. Also how to have that conversation because it feels hard sometimes to be like, well, I'm worth more. And then we get into the actual pitching. So once you connect with a brand, what do you say? And my process that I teach is getting on a call with a brand and having a conversation. So we walk you through how to kind of ask them out on a date, how to, what you should say when you're on a call. We're going to give you a transcript of that conversation. And then next steps too, once they're like, yeah, that sounds interesting, templates for putting together a proposal. And then really just that kind of like back and forth of, okay, like we talked, now what do I do? And that whole process.
Do you include templates for a proposal or just talk about? Okay.
Yeah, we have templates for proposals, templates for pitches, and templates for reaching out to brands. So we make it as easy as possible for you guys. Because we've been running beta testing for this for the last year. And so we've literally had people go through this process and land partnerships, sometimes within a week, but often usually within a month.
Okay.
Amy, how do we find out like if a brand we want to reach out to has already had a dietitian they've worked with, or is it okay to have more than one?
Yeah. So, I'll tell you that in a second, but first off, most brands work with more than one expert. So it's not something that I'd say it matters, but it doesn't matter. You want to know if they have worked with other dietitians or other healthcare professionals because it gives you kind of they've done this, but they haven't done this. And honestly, really the best way to do that is to go to their Instagram and kind of look through and see, are they doing any collaborations with other experts? But there's a lot of brands who work with, sometimes 5, sometimes 20 different healthcare professionals. And so that's one of the first things we're going to be going over in Wednesday's class when we're talking about connecting with brands is that, if all of you guys want to work with the same brand, that's okay because there's more than enough opportunities usually with these brands because you're all bringing something different to the table. Hello, if you guys are just joining, and hello, Nina. Hi, Har. Hi, Vandana. Feel free just to ask any question you have. I'm here to answer them. And we are doing a giveaway for everyone who enrolls in Brand Partnership School by midnight Pacific time tonight. You get entered into a giveaway to win an Aura Ring. So I'll let you ask your questions. Yeah, Barbara.
So the other question too is if you don't have a huge, as you've mentioned this over again, you don't have a huge social media following, and does that usually kind of
No, it most of the time
Depends.
doesn't matter because with the thing that you bring to the table, you're an expert who has influence. You're not trying to be an influencer. And so what matters more than followers is that people listen to you. You have those credentials, the credibility behind you. And so a lot of times, even if you have like I've literally had students who have no social media following, but you can go to the brand and say, how about I create a video for your platform? And they can, they can either run it on their platform or they can even run ads to it. So there's a lot of opportunities that you could literally have no blog, no social media, nothing, and still work with brands.
Could be video, could be writing, could be
Yeah, writing
blogging.
is a great one. So the three easiest ways to work with brands are social media posts. And like I said, they don't have to be on your platform. They could be on the brands. Testimonials. So if you either have something, a blurb on a brand's website about why you love the product or even on their social media. And then blog posts. So if you write content, again, it doesn't have to be for your website, it can be for the brand's website. And all of those deliverables, they pay between $1,000 and like $14,000. We've had students get $14,000 for having their testimonial on a brand's website.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hi, Rachel. Good to see you. So guys, don't be shy. I love answering questions. I'm happy to answer anything.
Hi again. I have another question.
Yeah.
So, I'm not yet a registered dietitian, so would I qualify?
Absolutely. So there's two parts to the answer. One is you can start working with brands now. I literally did that. I went back to school to become a dietitian, and it took me 7 years of working full time and going to school at night. And I was working with brands that whole time. What I was doing with the brands changed a little bit. I was probably doing mostly like blog post writing and content creation. But there's a lot of opportunities. You're still have expertise. And then the other part of it is, why wait until you're fully fledged with credentials to start learning how to do this? The beauty of when you get those dietitian credentials, you'll have all the knowledge to just like literally go to brands and say, "Hey, I'm a dietitian. Let's talk about working together." And you can hit the ground running.
Right. Okay. And then, what's the difference between the 3-hour class and the 6 months?
Yeah, that's a great question. So Master the Media has two programs. One is Brand Partnership School, which is what we're talking about tonight, and that's a brand new product. And then the other one is the Master the Media Training and Certification Program. That's our 6-month program. So how they're different is, and I think the best way for me to show you this is actually to share my screen and show you. I have this little chart. So scroll down. Okay, so this is a chart that breaks down the differences. So Brand Partnership School is meant to be very easy breezy, your first brand partnership in 30 days. Master the Media, not that it's not easy, but it's meant to have you get that $50,000 in brand partnerships again and again. And so it's a more involved process. So in both we give you ideas for ways to partner with brands. We give you suggested rates for brand deliverables. You get more in the Master the Media program, and you get lots of pitch and proposal templates. You get 17 in Brand Partnership School and 50 in Master the Media. And you also get other resources like a pitch tracker for your brand partnerships and a transcript of a call with a brand so you know what to say, what not to say. Then Master the Media, we share exclusive opportunities to our students. We have relationships with like 7,000 plus brands. And so we bring paid opportunities with brands directly to you, as well as media features like Time Magazine. We also give you a list of brand contacts so you don't have to do the research to reach out to those brands. And then we feature you in an e-blast. So we do a lot to like put you in front of the brands, and there's other things like you make a media kit and you get daily and weekly support. And then both programs, we give you Master the Media swag when you reach your brand partnership milestones. So in Brand Partnership School, when you get your first brand partnership, and Master the Media for every amount from $1,000 to $100,000, you get kind of a prize. But the one thing that I want to mention is if you join Brand Partnership School and a week from now, a month from now, you're like, hey, Amy, I want to join Master of the Media. I'll take what you applied. I'll take what you paid for brand partnership school and apply that to Master of the Media. So we literally just had someone enroll today in Master of the Media, and I just gave her a discount code for what she paid for brand partnership school, and she upgraded. So it's not like you have to choose one or the other.
Right. Okay. So can you give me an example of a partnership for an up-and-coming RD? My interests are in nutrition, well, obviously nutrition, but I'm also wanting to do live videos, cooking and stuff on Facebook. I'm also interested in fitness. Um, and so yeah, for now. So like, could you give me an example of what?
Yeah, yeah. So a really good, what comes to the top of my head, well, there's two things. Like one would be you could create a recipe for the brand and do like say a video of it, and they could post that on their social media account. If you have your own account, you could do a collaboration, so it shows up on both of your accounts, and then you not only get paid for that, you get their audience, and that helps you build your following as well. The other thing that I think would be a really good fit is for you to create, recipe blog posts for the brand, and they could post those on the brand's the brand could post those on their website. Um, is taking pictures of food something that you're interested in?
Yes, I take plenty of pictures and I have videos.
Yeah, yeah. So you could create, like when you do the blog post for the brand, you could take pictures of the food, you could create video content, and then that's something that they're very interested in.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And like all of those things that I mentioned, a social media post could pay anywhere from like $1,000 to $7,500. A blog post could pay anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 or so dollars.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome. And Stephen, I see a question from you. Do you want to ask it?
No, it's just a statement. That's what I do.
Okay, very interesting. I mean, this would be applicable for you as well. There was brands
Well,
who.
I have to be very careful because the big pharma
Mhm.
will sue the heck out of you because we can defeat them in the health realm. I can't defeat them in the court round.
Yeah, I mean, what I can tell you, and I see Barbara's asking for the link to enroll. Lisa, can you share that with her? What I can tell you is that because a lot of our doctors that we work with, there's a Sunshine Act and they have to disclose what they make from pharmaceutical companies. And it doesn't limit for most people, it doesn't limit what you're able to do. It just makes it that you're disclosing to literally the world, I worked with this company and I made this much money from the brand partnership.
Well, you and I have to talk.
Yeah, feel free to email me, and here, I'll put my email in here and we can chat some more, but happy to answer any questions too while you're here.
You bet. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you. Likewise. Hey, Ellie, good to see you. And Barbara, the link is in the chat if you want to grab it.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry, it took me a little bit to get in for some reason, but
Oh, no worries. So I'm just answering questions. You guys have had some great questions so far. And we're running a fun contest. I love giveaways, if you can't tell. So anyone who enrolls in Brand Partnership School by midnight tonight Pacific time gets entered into a giveaway to win an Aura Ring Gen 4, and I'll announce that winner tomorrow. If you've already enrolled, I see a few people here who have, you're going to be automatically entered into that. Ellie, did you have a question that you wanted to ask?
I don't really. I just wanted to make sure I was not missing important details. So,
Well, good to have you here.
yeah, this will be different from I've been a retail RD for many years, so approaching it from this perspective is going to be a little bit different from a
Oh,
business.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's a great niche. Like we've worked with lots of supermarket dietitians, and the great thing is that you already have that experience with knowing so many brands, and so you can jump. It's easy. It's I don't want to say it's easy, but it's easier for you to jump into, okay, I want to work with this brand because I'm very, very familiar with it.
Mhm.
And then when you approach the brand, you can actually say like, hey, I've done recipe demos with your product, and I'd be a really good fit for writing a blog post about all the different ways you can cook with this product. And so you
Mhm.
kind of have an in. It's very cool.
Yeah, definitely have some of it, something of a track record. So
Awesome. You guys don't be shy. I'll just I mean, I'm happy to just to kind of talk and highlight some of the questions that I've gotten. Um, sometimes some people have asked, how quickly can you land a brand partnership? And it's literally like, you know, we say within 30 days and we really mean it. If you have the right process, which we give you for connecting with the brands and pricing and going through the whole idea and conversation process, you really, really can land that partnership in 30 days. Harsha, did you have a question?
Yes, hi Amy.
Hi.
I'm a pediatrician and I'm just so new to this. So what kind of hand holding and training will I get? I'm willing to
Yeah.
share videos, but social media is not my forte, so I need help. So is
Yeah,
that a match for me? Or?
it's good to see you. I love when pediatricians come into our world because there's so many brands that are just brand. So let me backtrack. When I was an editor at Parents and American Baby, we'd have pediatricians come into the office representing products. And that was one of my first aha moments of like, hey, brands want to hire these experts. And so all that to say is there's a lot of products that could use a pediatrician's backing. To answer your question, so normally in brand partnership school, we don't offer support. We don't offer coaching. But right now, when you enroll by end of day Wednesday, you're going to get access to 3 live recording sessions, including Q&As, and you can ask anything you want. And then a live strategy session as well, which is exactly like the group coaching that we offer in Master the Media, which is our $8,000 program. So basically, we're giving you the same type of coaching that we normally reserve only for Master the Media. And we're giving you that in brand partnership school. And what I mentioned earlier, which you might have missed, is if you join brand partnership school and you decide down the road that you want to upgrade to Master the Media, I'm happy to apply what you've paid for brand partnership school toward Master the Media.
Yeah. And is that like up to 3 months or 6 months to upgrade? Is there another?
Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't actually decided that yet. So right now I'm leaving it open. But um, but I'd say probably a few months. But we'll take it case by case if you decide longer down the road.
Sounds good. And then what kind of time should I invest in? Like I work 32 hours right now. So how many
Yeah.
hours is it worth my membership,
Yeah, so the beauty of brand partnership school is I've literally spent the last year refining it to get it down to as little hours as possible. So the actual course materials, it's 3 hours. All you need is 3 hours to listen to and attend the calls. If you don't even if you can't attend, you can listen to the recordings. And then I'd say for implementation, if you can set aside 2 or 3 hours a week for, reaching out to brands and having those conversations with them, that's really all you need. So it's very doable.
Okay. Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome. Barbara.
So that was my question is, I think you answered it. Is there, for each module, there are assignments that you do and then bring back to the next session?
So
Or is that,
there's not actual assignments in the sense of like you have to turn them into me, but we will
well,
give
not
you
us, yeah.
we will give you prompts just to keep you going. So for instance, in the first class on Wednesday, we're talking about connecting with brands. And so your homework is going to be coming up with a list of 5 to 10 brands to reach out to over the next 30 days. So it's fun because it gets you thinking about, and you could already start thinking because I already told you the prompt, you could start making your list now.
That's done.
Harsha, did you have another question?
Yeah, when you said pick your brands, how do you pick brands? Or is it part of those 3 training calls?
Yeah, we're going to go over that in a ton of detail on Wednesday in our first class.
Okay.
But in a nutshell, it's brands that you either recommend to your patients already or brands that you used yourself. And we'll go through like the
Okay.
process, in more detail.
Okay.
But that's something that we get a lot of questions about is kind of like, basically, there's so many brands, like there's thousands and thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of brands. And there's only so many healthcare practitioners who know how to work with brands. So there's all that to say is there are so many more brands who need you than there are of you. So anyway, we'll walk you through that whole process.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Jolie.
Hey, sorry. I had to go see a patient real quick.
No worries.
I probably missed something when I was seeing that kid, but do you go through like contracts and legal stuff and all of that?
So we do that in Master the Media.
Okay.
I'll give you 2 parts to the answer. Right now in Brand Partnership School, because we have the live coaching component, you can ask those questions. I'm happy to help you. But we do go in depth in Master the Media. We have a contract that was created by an attorney that has like every possible clause that you can cut and paste. There's a whole module on contracts and whatnot. And the instructor, Dan, the attorney, he's available to answer questions. So what I mentioned that you might have missed earlier was, you can always upgrade to Master the Media. You just honestly send me an email and say, hey, Amy, I wanted to upgrade. We literally had someone do that today. And I was like, here's a discount code for what you paid for Brand Partnership School. And you can put that toward Master the Media.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. You guys have given me easy questions. Give me something hard. We often get questions about, do you have to be a dietitian or a doctor? No, you can literally not even be a healthcare professional. The process in Brand Partnership School works for you as long as you have an expertise. Just, because every business should have an avatar, our avatar is a healthcare professional. But we've worked with like finance experts, real estate experts. Literally, there's opportunities for every expertise. What kind of experts is everyone here? I know some of you, but not all of you. So I know Harsha's a
Dietitian.
dietitian. Awesome.
Dietitian, diabetes, chronic disease,
Specialty.
GLP.
Oh, that's so hot right now. There's so many products like GLP-1 probiotics too.
I'm a PA, a dietitian, and a personal trainer.
Wow. You have multiple credentials. That's
A few, yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm an integrated health and terrain practitioner and a certified nutrition scientist.
That is so cool. Can you tell us a little bit about what a terrain practitioner does?
Yeah, we look at the root cause, whereas doctors look at one thing like, oh, your vitamin D level's too low. Well, he doesn't look at the cause of the whole thing. And the example I usually give is you're driving down a nice road, it's all paved and everything else, and then you turn on the street and it's all full of potholes and you get cracks in your undercarriage. Well, you take it to the auto mechanic and he does all the diagnostics and everything else and says everything's fine. It's not fine because we see little cracks. I look for the cracks.
So interesting.
We've reversed Alzheimer's, we've reversed cancer, we reversed everything that you can think of, autism, ADD, ADHD to asthma with 4 or 5 vitamins that you do not take.
Wow. Well, it's so good to have you here.
And so when I tell that to a big Pfizer guy, he talks his lawyer and says, we want to shut him down.
Well, then there's a lot of opportunity for you here. What about everyone else? Nina, Chantal, Farnaz, what kind of practitioners are you?
Hi, Amy. This is Nina.
Hi.
I am focused in whole food as medicine. So I
That's
work with Blue Zones and do a lot of speaking and teaching. And yeah, I've done it for over 25 years.
oh, well, that's amazing. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm not yet a dietitian, but I'm presently doing my internship to become one. Oh,
Well, I love that you are already thinking about working with brands. Honestly, it's probably one of the most lucrative paths you can take as a dietitian, and you can do it in conjunction with any other, clinical or non-clinical job.
exactly.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Farnaz. I am a dietitian, so interested always for making more money kind of things to
Yeah.
do.
Well, so great to have you here.
Me too. Okay.
Yeah, for me, once I started working as a dietitian, so it was like 2015, I got my first job and I was like, oh, this hourly rate kind of hurts. And that's when I started working with brands. And once I realized what brand partnerships pay, and plus the fact that I didn't love seeing patients, that's about like the time I went full time into working with brands and media. Yeah, Julie.
Sorry, I just didn't want to like talk over
Oh,
anyone.
no worries.
So do you find that the brands, because long and short, I've been a PA since 2017. So I've kept up my dietitian and personal training license that whole time, but I've been kind of working more as a PA and kind of getting back into being a dietitian. Do you feel like brands really care about what your actual clinic practice is, or just the knowledge base that you have?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of both, and I'll talk through the why of both. But sometimes, like for instance, we just brought in Master of the Media, we bring brand partnership opportunities to our students, and so one of the things that we brought to them recently was a commercial for a yogurt company, and they wanted a dietitian specifically, probably just to be able to say like this is backed by a dietitian. So sometimes I'd say, for your credentials, especially the dietitian and the personal trainer credentials, sometimes brands will want to be able to put that stamp of approval,
Sure.
especially if you're doing anything with like nutrition labeling for a brand. But from a practicing standpoint, they might want that kind of like if you gave a testimonial as a PA about, what you suggest to your patients for pink eye, and here's this new over-the-counter
Sure.
product, like that would go a really long way. So it's kind of case by case depending on what the brand and product is.
Yeah. It's just interesting. I work in pediatrics, so I kind of have like a very wide net I feel like I could cast. And so
Yeah.
it's kind of like, I guess, navigating those
Yeah.
conversations on what exactly they're looking for.
Yeah, I'll give you an example because one of our students, she's a pediatrician and a dietitian, and
Mhm.
so she found it was a little confusing when she brought it to brands and was like, "Hey, I'm a pediatrician and dietitian." They were like, "Whoa, which one do we run with?" And so my advice to her was kind of like frame yourself as, I'm a nutrition focused pediatrician, so you
Mhm.
could potentially kind of like choose an angle with that. Depending on the conversation you're having, right? Because it's like,
Sure.
and you might want to kind of think about, do you want to lean into dietetics angles more, or fitness or health, and that
Yeah.
kind of guide your path forward.
Do you find that people like niche down? Because like I also have a whole other layer that I have celiac, and so does my daughter. And so it's like,
Well,
it's
I think that's actually that's if with that information, that's where I'd suggest you lean into.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of been like my thought process. Like I
Yeah,
could totally go that route and probably have plenty of opportunity, but I was just
yeah, and
curious.
you have a unique. I'd say like you're and talking like I'm gluten free, and there's a strong chance I have celiac. I don't actually know.
Yeah.
But like you're actually able to prescribe, the tests and whatnot. So you have a unique angle in that sense.
Sure.
So there's a lot of brands you could really lean into, like Char, like all the
Yeah.
gluten-free companies. I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be like over-the-counter testing soon.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity out there with brands for that specifically.
Sweet. Glad to hear that.
All right, that was a fun question. Give me more fun questions. So let's see. And the other things I get asked a lot is your access to the material. So you get lifetime access to everything in Brand Partnership School, and that includes any future updates we add to the course. So that makes it really fun where you can revisit things later. You have access to like all of the resources, the proposal templates, the pitch templates, the ideas and the rates and all of that.
I do have another quick question.
Yeah.
Will we get sent like a link where we access all of that, like upcoming?
Yeah, you should. Did you not receive it?
I don't think so, unless it somehow got filtered
I'm
or
gonna make a note to resend you. We have
Okay.
it automatically set up where you enroll and you get a link with your access, but I will resend it to you.
It's very possible that I might have missed it, but yes,
Yeah.
I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, search your inbox for Thinkific. That's where we host all of our
Thank you.
materials, but I'll also follow up.
Okay.
Yeah, Nina.
Amy, what is I don't know, I'm going to say the percentage of brands that are really choosing, if it's a fit, to bring someone on as a retainer versus having, every month going after brands. It's like sales, right? You've got to get enough in the pipeline
Yeah.
that there's always coming in. But it would seem like, and what I do already in this area, is the retainers are what are going to make the difference. And have you found something that really makes a brand go, yes, if we have 25, I'll say dietitians, since that's how you're speaking, 25 dietitians, what's going to make a dietitian stand out
Yeah.
that the brand is going to want to sign them on as a retainer?
That's a great question. And the answer to your initial question is yes. Our goal, like my goal and you going through Brand Partnership School, is not to teach you how to get like 50 one-offs. I want you to form a relationship with a brand and have them continue working with you. And so the three types of projects that you can partner with a brand on that are the easiest for them to say yes to, and this is what we focus on in Brand Partnership School, but we also touch on like all the other opportunities. They're social media posts, and it can be on your platform or theirs. Blog posts, it can be on your platform or theirs, and testimonials, which are most often on the brand's platform. And so what happens is usually like with those three things, the brand will get a taste of what you can offer. And then, you're in conversations with them and you might say, oh, I have this idea, and they'll create budget for you. Or they'll be like, oh, we were wanting to bring on a dietitian to do TV segments for us. Do you want to work together? So I've worked with many brands where I worked for them, like with them for like 7 or 8 years in a row. And so those brand partnerships from one brand alone have equaled over $100,000. And so that's our goal in teaching you how to do this and form these relationships. The reason why they would choose you is because you know how to work with brands, and that's what you're learning in Brand Partnership School. What they don't want is someone who's like, either making it really difficult, like, well, you can have this blog post I wrote for you, but you can only keep it published on your website for 2 weeks. Like that's just going to make their head spin. But if you know how to have these conversations and how to be like, okay, you can publish this blog post on your website, and you can, with this fee, you can keep my name on the blog post for a year, and you're just making it easy to work with you because you bring that knowledge to the table.
Okay, thank you. So it's basically the same across the board. We'd be calling that whitelisting, how long a brand is going to pay to have your contribution either on their post or even in advertising for paid advertising.
So whitelisting it specifically is in this world is when you like when a brand is using, say, a video of you to run ads to your platform on social media, so they're basically paying to get in front of your audience. Your byline on a blog post is what's something called name and likeness. And this is like all the nitty-gritty that we get into, especially in the Q&A portions in Brand Partnership School, is like what to know going in the door so that you price yourself. I mean, and this is also what we go into detail in the pricing module, so that you price yourself effectively and that you don't give things away. Like advertising, use of name and likeness, those things are like $1,000 a month or even more. And I know for everyone else, you might be like, this is starting to sound overwhelming. All you need to going in the door is that connecting with the brand, pricing out your partnerships, and having the conversation about your ideas. Those are the important steps, and we walk you through the rest in Brand Partnership School.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, Barbara.
It went up fast. Okay. Do you find that some of the brands are cutting back because of budget?
Okay. So
I mean, just
yeah.
given the climate, and then the other question I had was, and I know it's really dependent on student, but success rate, or was there like a, measure that you've kept, like 6 out of 10 or 5 out of 10?
Yeah, those are
I've
great.
had positive. It doesn't have to be the 50,000, whatever.
Yeah.
Curious.
For your first question, so it would be logical to think like, oh, the economy is not, doing great, so brands must not have budgets. But I can tell you, I have worked with brands for like through every economic upswing and downswing. And I have consistently made, like when I was working, full time with brands, I consistently made $200,000 plus a year from brand partnerships. It really, if anything, like during COVID and all the craziness, it went up because often during times of instability, the brands actually kind of leverage like, oh, people are like really starting to wonder what I should eat. So we need to put more funding into getting dietitians and doctors to talk about that. Sometimes like during COVID, for example, times were weird, but people were spending way more time on social media. And so brands leaned into that. And so basically, I never have worried about it and it's always worked out. And so that's what I teach to kind of expect. For your second question, we don't get like not every single student who goes through Brand Partnership School gives us like, here's what happened. But what I can tell you is that if you follow the process, it works. Like we've had students get, $5,000 social media posts within, a week of starting Brand Partnership School. We've had students get like $1,000 blog post weeks in, $4,000 blog posts on social media. So, and that's possible. Like we're talking not for like 20 posts, but like 1 or 2 posts. And that's possible because we guide you through, here's what someone with your credentials could charge a brand. And it's usually a lot more than you would think. Yeah, Harsha.
Amy, how many physicians do you have in training or who are already doing, and what have their testimonials been,
Yeah, I'd say without, looking at our roster, I'd say we probably have at least like 20 to 30 physicians across our 2 programs, across Master of the Media and Brand Partnership School. It's probably honestly more. We have all different types of physicians like pediatricians, family practice doctors. We have, like OBGYNs, like honestly, almost every specialty except for dermatology and podiatry. So I don't know why. Those 2 are great for working with brands. But we started a partnership last year with the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. And from that point on, we started having a lot of physicians come into our programs who are more of the lifestyle medicine focus, and they've had really great success.
Yeah, so more signups since your presence in the lifestyle medicine area.
I'd say most, not every single one. But that's how a lot of them find us. So it kind of just ends up that way.
Okay. And do you have to let your employer know that you're doing this?
So what kind of what is your job, your day job?
I'm a pediatrician.
I mean, like, do you work for like a medical group?
I work for a multi-specialty.
Yeah.
Primary care, but multi-specialty.
I mean, I always advise transparency. So, it can't hurt to have a conversation with your employer, either your boss or HR, depending on, what what the regulations are, and kind of just say, I'm going through this training program, I'm interested in working with brands, but you can kind of position it in a good way, like I'm learning skills that are going to help me, help get the word out about our clinic, and they're almost always going to want to hear that, and maybe even put you on TV when a reporter comes to them asking for something like that.
Oh, okay. So it can be a positive thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks. Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. You guys have had great questions. So just reminding everyone, so Wednesday at midnight is the deadline for enrolling in Brand Partnership School and getting live coaching. And then tonight at midnight is the deadline for enrolling in Brand Partnership School and being entered to win an Oura Ring Gen 4. And I'd say all of you guys have a really good chance because, like, how many of us are here? Like 12. So, those percentages are really good. Yeah, Harsha.
No, I think that was the previous question for.
Oh, okay, no worries. Julie.
Okay, this is kind of a me-based question. So if you want to like email about it, that's fine too. But
Yeah, we're here. We might as well. I'm sure,
I figured while I have your attention.
And other people might have the same questions, so go for it.
Yeah, well, maybe. So I kind of got like, I think I've been in your Facebook group for a while, but I kind of got into the UGC world and got a deal with a brand. It's called Dr. Coco. You guys can go see me on their Facebook page, like a children's Tylenol, essentially, that's cocoa flavored.
Cool.
And, had no idea what to pitch them. So did this one video. I pitched them $1,100. They immediately accepted it. I realized I probably could have pitched them way higher because it was like for an ad, like unlimited usage, probably totally got taken by that. But is there a way like that you recommend communicating with that brand for potential further?
Yeah. And I will say before I answer that we all have, a past coming into this. It's like dating, right? Like we all have past experiences. And there's always things like we're all gonna wish, oh, I wish I'd negotiated that higher,
I mean, I felt cool about getting $1,100 for it, but I was like, after the fact, I realized I probably could have asked for way more.
I mean, it's amazing that you have that. It's also amazing that you can say that you worked with this brand and have that as proof of concept for additional brand partnerships. But yeah, I mean, I would just, if you are still in touch with them, like just reach out to them and say, hey, can we get on a call? And, I have some ideas that I want to run by you. Maybe wait until we're a couple weeks into Brand Partnership School and you can see what some of the ideas are that we give you in that list of ideas. And that'll kind of get the wheels in your brain churning of, hey, I can come to them and say, I really think that, it would be great to have a video on, how to administer, this natural Tylenol. Like I know with my daughter, like it took us a few tries to actually get it in her mouth when she was really tiny. So, and you can bring in experiences from your own patient experiences where you're like, oh, somebody, asked me this. Can I help develop FAQs for your website? Like literally, and we're going to go into detail of like all the ideas, but it's kind of like if you can think of it, it's an idea that you can bring to a brand.
Yeah, no, that's good perspective. It literally just went live like 2 weeks ago. So I'm still waiting on the payment actually, but it's, it's one of those.
That's awesome and congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I just figured, I was like, I feel like that could potentially be like an ongoing kind of thing where I do more with them, but wanted to make sure I approached it the right way. So
yeah, for sure. I love the way you're thinking.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Do you guys have any other questions? Yeah, Harsha.
Yeah, if the Wednesday calls are, I think during my work hours, I'm assuming, will they be recordings or will I have access?
Yeah, they're recorded. You have lifetime access to them. And I also, when you sign up for a brand partnership school, you get access to a question sheet where even if you can't attend live, I'll answer as many of those pre-submitted questions as possible.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, and I will tell you, like in Master the Media, like maybe 20 or 30% of our students attend the calls live, and they all have the same success, whether they attend the call live or listen to the recording, because you're not only getting the educational materials, but you're listening like, okay, you know, like Julie's question just now that might have sparked something in Nina's brain or Ellie's brain, like, oh, I hadn't thought of that, but now I have this idea. And so just getting that insight, and perspective from your fellow students is really, really helpful too. Let's see, what else have people asked me? Will the price go up in the future? Probably. We don't know for sure. But I would enroll now just to secure lifetime access to everything at the current price. Let's see, and then there's a painful opportunity, it's 1097, so you save a bit versus the 197 over 6 months. So each of the sessions is technically 60 minutes. I usually almost always stay on past the 60 minutes just to finish up answering questions that people have, because I do not like to have any questions go unanswered. So I know several of you guys have already joined, and I'm really, really excited to work with you. And let's see, other things that I get asked are, you know, Barbara's asking every Wednesday in April from 5 to 6. It's the first 4 Wednesdays of April from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. So the first 3 Wednesdays are the live classes, and there'll be a live Q&A. And then the 4th Wednesday is the live strategy session, where it's basically like kind of like the questions Julie was asking, actually, like that are very kind of specific to you that you want insight on.
I didn't realize there were five Wednesdays in April.
I know, right?
That's why I said, oh gosh, I just checked.
Yeah, I know, it's one of those months, right? I'm gonna stay in here until 6 just to answer any last minute questions. But so in the teachings, we give you slides so you can take notes. We upload the transcripts. We make it very easy. And a lot of our students will listen to, like, if you're listening to the recording, like they'll listen to it kind of like a podcast where, you know, you're taking a walk, you're doing the dishes, so you can kind of multitask, and it maximizes time, but you don't have to. Like, I personally like to sit at my computer and participate in things. Let's see. Stephen, Ellie, Nina, Farnaz, anyone else have any additional questions?
No, looking forward to this.
Awesome. So excited. Really, this has been like something that it's been a passion project for me, like over the last year, because it's not only do I want you guys to see, you know, fast action of getting that first brand partnership in 30 days, but a lot of people have come to us asking, you know, do you have a lower price point offering if I don't want to spend the $8,000 for Master the Media? And until now, we didn't. So I'm really excited to make this, you know, this accessible to all of you guys.
Great.
So yeah, just as a reminder, enrollment with live coaching that ends at midnight on Wednesday, and then enroll by tonight, and Lisa can put the link in the chat, and at midnight we'll do everyone who enrolls, including anyone who has already enrolled and who's here, we'll do a drawing for an Oura Ring Gen 4, and I'll announce that winner tomorrow. I'm so excited. What are some of the brands that you guys already know that you want to work with? I see Ellie thinking. You must have a brand in mind.
Commodities mostly to start with, and that's where I've had a lot of contact already, but different perspective now that I'm out of retail. So
Yeah, I love that. And just for anyone who's like, what is a commodity? It's it's kind of like an association for oftentimes produce, but it could literally be eggs or beef or lamb. And so it's kind of an unbranded brand where, you know, like I've worked with USA Pulses or Wild Blueberries where you get to just talk about the benefits of that category of food. So it's really great. And they usually have budgets that are the same as brands.
So I think that would be the one thing I would ask is if you have any updates on some of the professional requirements, you know, kind of the guardrails of professions speaking about nutrition. There's multiple agencies, right, that are involved here and a lot of change in this space.
Oh, so I think at what you're asking, so like when you work with a commodity specifically, they're overseen by the government. So the good thing is that there's actually like when I worked with, I'll use the American Egg Board as an example, like every single thing that got published went through the brand or through the commodity and then through the USDA and back to me. And so you kind of there's no guesswork of am I allowed to say this because they'll tell you what you know,
Yeah.
oh, we can't say that. You can say this. And so it actually gives me a really good peace of mind.
Good. Yeah, just curious about changes. So
Yeah. And same things with supplement companies. Like most of the time when you work with them, they because they're, you know, overseen by the FDA, like they'll have like they have a legal person on board who reviews what you say before it goes live.
nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Barbara.
I was thinking of like some of the I'm family meals dietitian, and so some of the, and focusing on Mediterranean food. So I was looking at some of the brands like Cento and things
Oh,
like that.
yeah, that would be great. And there's a lot
Some
of
of the olive oil companies that are.
yeah. You could even do some of the meal kit companies, you know, like ways to get your family cooking together.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love the way you're thinking. Nina, how about you?
I'm already working with a couple of brands. So one is a whole food plant-based supplement because that is my niche.
Oh,
And
that's
then
awesome.
I'm working with commodity, also from the chef-led, but with a strong emphasis on nutrition and whole foods and longevity because that's the other side that they want.
Oh, I love that so much.
Thank you.
Oh, and Barbara just joined. Go, Barbara. Yay, you're entered into that Aura Ring giveaway.
Amy, I have
Hey,
one
yeah.
question. So just to be clear for the partnership um, program, I know you said it's 3 hours. How long would I have access to that information?
Yeah, it's lifetime access. So you get access not only to the materials as they exist today, but you get lifetime access to anything that we add in the future.
And it would be a one-time payment for that option.
So there's three payment options. There's one pay in full, which is 1097, and that's the lowest rate. So you save by paying in full. There's 6 monthly payments of 197. That's kind of like the easiest payment plan. And then you can also do 3 monthly payments of 377.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Well, I'm so excited to work with you in Brand Partnership School and help you land those brand partnerships with the brands that you already are starting to think of. And everyone who enrolls by midnight tonight, I will enter into the Aura Ring giveaway and announce that winner tomorrow. So have a great night. And if you think of a question after this, you can always email me. Here, I'll just pop my email into the chat and always on email, so I'll answer any questions you have. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Amy.
You're so welcome.